Welcome to Rookery Radio, Real College Radio. Today you're listening to the Penguin Review, almost said the wrong show. Penguin Review show here on this beautiful sunny Friday noon. I almost said afternoon, but it's like noon right now. So, that being said, let's get this started. Today we're talking about writing. Our writing. So you can hear us drone on about ourselves. This should be fun. Today, joining us on the phone is Alex Prime. Alex, are you there?
What's up?
How's it going?
It's fantastic. I don't know if it's sunny around you, but I'm raining right now where I'm
I
at.
can't hear anything.
Another day in paradise.
Don't listen to Alex. Wait, you can't hear?
I can't hear
Try
anything.
that whole jack thing.
I
No?
have to unplug Tom.
No? Okay. How about over here?
I don't think there's one over there.
Okay.
Go ahead, you guys talk about it.
Okay.
Alex killed the radio star.
Yeah, see, Alex, it's all your
What
fault.
happens, man?
Okay. So, we're going to get this started. We'll just go around and talk about our writing. Ooh, academic writing count? Can we throw that in there?
Sure, if you want to.
Okay,
Is there-
'cause I
is
do
there
more of
another
that.
one there?
Is there a way?
Is there a...
Is there a way to?
We're having technical difficulties. The headphones? Yeah, there you go.
Is that better?
Sorry, we're having technical difficulties right now.
Yeah, no. Go
Okay.
ahead. You guys go ahead.
You're
Have
good?
the questions?
Okay. All right, Tom. We talked a little bit. Well, you guys talked a little bit about creative nonfiction on Wednesday. You mentioned your thesis, but first question. No, maybe you guys talked about that on Wednesday. Rebecca, what got you started on writing? I know you can't hear, and she's trying to figure out headphone stuff
Okay,
right now.
no,
But just
We didn't talk
Let's
about that.
What we were going to talk about today is
Oh, we didn't.
what your first story was.
there we go.
So let's say that first.
There
say
you
what
go.
your first story was.
All right.
Okay, can you hear over there?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. We're having technical difficulties. We
so somebody else
apologize.
start while I try to figure
Craig.
out if I can hear anything ever. No.
Okay, so my first real story that I'm somewhat proud of.
Okay, no, don't start with the first story that you're not proud of.
Okay,
Like you're-
by
I
the
don't
way-
know.
By the way, in studio, I'm David, Rebecca,
Oh, yeah,
Tom,
hi.
and
Oh, yeah.
Gia. Sorry. There we
Georgia,
go.
Gia.
We are so
GK.
mixed up
I'm so
today.
sorry.
Let's just go. Forget
Okay.
it. Let it roll.
Okay,
It's
so
natural.
I wrote a story over the summer. It was like my first complete story, and it was structured actually off of Hemingway's In Our Time. So there were vignettes interdispersed, and then there was like one main story about this girl named Olivia, and it just dealt with like her personal relationship problems.
Huh.
So that was it. But like I showed, with the vignettes. It was a great time.
That's
I don't know.
awesome. What inspired you to start this summer? Like, why now?
Why now? Because I never thought I was going to be an English major, and then I just made a really impulsive decision a year ago to switch, because I was going to major in nutrition, which thank goodness that didn't happen. But
We love nutrition and news.
yeah,
Shout out
of
to
course.
those nutrition majors out
yeah,
there.
love it. It was those Netflix documentaries actually that got to me. And I was about to major in nutrition, then I was like, wait, hold on. So I never had really like seriously considered English, and then once I started, I was like, well, I might as well just dabble. So
Yeah, I mean,
That's awesome.
that's why I got into English.
That's a
You
good
didn't
one.
want to do
We
nutrition.
should also talk about that.
No.
Why
Have you ever seen how much water this kid drinks? Of course he was a nutritionist.
Yeah,
Tom, do you want to go?
self-made.
I'll go. I can multitask. Sorry, Alex, I still can't hear you, so if you're wanting to talk, I
He's
probably
talking so much smack right now. No.
not surprised. Okay, so my first story, I might have said this before, but my first story, I was 5. I wrote a story about superhero dogs. It was obviously the greatest story ever, right?
Yeah, no, that sounds cool. There's actually a Grant Morrison comic about superhero animals. I'm going to try and find the title. Go ahead.
Okay,
sorry.
cool. The first time when I felt like I was a writer, or the first thing I wrote that I felt like I was a writer, that's a harder question to answer. I don't know. I think it was when I started sharing my work is when I felt like a writer. So in the past year or so, like last year I took intro to poetry, and I guess at that point I finally felt like, hey, I know what I'm doing even though I don't know what I'm doing.
I know what you mean.
Yeah. Yeah? Okay.
I feel like that all the time.
And I think that another component was that I became friends with people who wrote, specifically one person who wrote, and I became really good friends with him, and then we went to Pittsburgh one day, and then he wrote a story about it. He got it published in his literary journal. At wherever he's going to college at. And I remember him sending me those texts, and it was just the nicest thing. Like, I was featured as a muse in one of his stories, and
That's
I figured
so cool.
that's like a nice gift to give people.
Right. So yeah, let me say that. Like, when I joined Penguin Review, commercial time, like, when I started at Penguin Review, I didn't tell people that I wrote. And we had a poetry slam thing last year, 2 years ago. 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
And Tom was like, so what do you write? And I was like, And then from there on, I just started talking about it more, I guess.
You came out of the closet as
I
a writer.
did. Okay, so go ahead, anyone who wants to go next. Tom. Tom thinks it's hilarious.
I think it is
And I'm
hilarious.
laughing
Thank you,
because
Tom.
Tom's
Thank
laughing.
you. Supporting my comedic
But it's
attempts.
so true. Like, for me, it's been a journey, honestly, because at first I was like, I just happened to be writing things down.
Mhm.
And then it turned into, I like writing things down. And then it turned into, I don't want to stop writing things down.
And then it turned into, it's really late at night and I hate what I'm writing, but I'm still
was
going
last
to write
night.
things down.
That was last night, yes.
Yeah.
Did it start with rhyming poetry?
It did not start with rhyming poetry.
didn't wanna
I've
be a
never
rapper?
written rhyming poetry.
Oh,
Don't
come
even
on.
blast
What's wrong
me.
with rhyming poetry?
I'm sorry.
You didn't
I
want
think
to.
she's lying.
I think she wants to be a rapper secretly.
Actually, that's true.
There you
That's
go.
100% true.
I make beats. Call
She
it
can
Mike and I are
beatbox
gonna,
like a
yeah,
DJ.
exactly.
Like
Mike
a
and I are
DJ.
gonna go on the road together
Oh,
to
there
let
you
you guys
go.
know. It's gonna be awesome. I have to try to find other headphones, so someone else talk.
Go ahead,
Okay,
Tom.
the first thing that I kind of wrote, I guess, my mother was in a master's program for theology at LaSalle University, and I didn't know it, but I was totally being used. She needed something, I guess, some story about family, and my goldfish just died. So she had me detail this whole story. I told her everything. She was writing down every single word that I was saying. And I guess my mother served as my ghostwriter. And she turned it in to her professor, and she got an A on it. And she gave it to me, and she had the pages laminated and said that I was published.
Aw.
There
And,
you go.
Yeah,
That's so
I know.
cute.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah,
I guess that was creative nonfiction, too.
I should say the first story I wrote, I was like 4. My mom also wrote it down for me. Oh, dang it. So I can hear now, but I'm lagging. That's weird. Okay,
Sorry,
anyway,
folks,
I got
we're
distracted.
having
Yeah, but I still have it too, and it's so cool. I was looking at it a while back ago because I was doing a literacy project for literacy and linguistics.
When I knew I was a writer, I don't know. Our school had this writing challenge thing when I was in 7th grade, and I decided that I was going to join the writing challenge. And I wrote some story about a dragon, and it won first place. And I won $50. So I was like, all right, sweet.
That's
I'll
great.
keep on doing this.
Right.
$50.
Right.
I would still take $50 for submitting something that got published.
How about you, Alex? Who I almost forgot was there.
It's
I'm
okay.
really
It's
sorry,
all right.
Alex. Go
Just here in
ahead.
the background.
Can you hear him?
I
oh
can't
no,
hear him.
never mind. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
For me, I think the first things that I started writing was basically fan fiction.
Fan fiction. Oh yeah, you told me about that.
Pretty much.
You have to.
When I was younger, all I would watch was Batman cartoons and Star Wars films, and I wrote stories that took place in those universes or whatever, and that's sort of how it started.
I would say that's very similar for me. We had to do a project. I don't remember what grade it was. One I probably hated, but we had to we had to make our own picture book, and so I made one about this scientist who invented all these crazy inventions like super bubble gum, just things that I liked. And I forget. I think he would blow the bubble gum up, and it created a protective shield around him, like a membrane or something like that.
That's
and he would
pretty
go out
sweet.
and fight
Yeah.
crime
I would
and
read
stuff.
that.
I don't know where it's at. My mom probably has it in a cedar chest somewhere collecting mold. But yeah, that's pretty much. I mean, that comes from my secret love of comics that nobody knows about. So,
So shocked.
yeah.
Alex, I can hear you now.
Yay!
Yay!
Oh, Rebecca, the comic's called We Three, by the way. It's about these cybernetic golden retriever, calico cat, and a bunny.
That's so crazy because I was also writing about 3 dogs and one was a golden retriever.
So it's kind of like Homeward Bound in a way, but
So they're
superhero
superheroes?
dogs.
But they have, like, exoskeletons and they're Terminators. I don't know.
That sounds
I
fantastic.
haven't read it. I
Is
want
the
to.
Golden Lab super duper old and the leader of the pack?
I think so. I mean, it's written by Grant Morrison, so it's probably pretty off the wall
So they're traveling from North Carolina to San Francisco.
to get. Well, one of them was
This is
inspired
total
by
plagiarism.
Michael J. Fox. No, I'm kidding. He did the voice, right? of
So-
one.
Yeah, he
full
did.
story.
And Sally Field did the voice of the cat.
So, David, when did you consider yourself a writer?
I still don't.
Okay.
No,
Well,
I don't
acceptable.
know. I mean, maybe I'm just super harsh, but like until I've published a large volume of work, I guess, and
Okay.
that's
Okay.
not how I feel about others. Just about
Right.
myself. It's very
I understand.
hypocritical,
I
but
understand.
very very critical of myself. So, yeah, I mean, I write a lot of things that are just sitting there,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, that's how I get something really out there and start getting something for it. Not necessarily money, but maybe hugs or candy bars in the mail. I don't
We could
know.
set that up.
Cupcakes.
I mean, half of the struggle is like emailing those things out
Absolutely.
to friends.
It
and then
is.
Yeah.
It is.
They'll tear it apart or they'll love you forever.
Yeah.
David,
What's
you're
up?
a writer. You're a writer. The only difference between being a writer and a professional writer is one of those people gets paid. So.
That's true.
Right. Haven't
That's
got
true.
paid yet.
Don't
Tom
worry.
has.
I'm
I
gonna.
made $50.
Yeah. See. Oh, don't worry. I'll break through as a rapper.
Yeah.
That's my.
Let's go on tour together.
I did. Seriously,
Man, that
did
crap
write
is
raps
hard.
for the longest time. I had a rap group.
I
we
will
were.
so rap for you.
We were called Thor, Thug Hobbits on Riddlin, and I'm
Same.
dead serious. It was me and 2 of my friends. I don't remember our rap names. They were all like plays on like the Hobbits, different Hobbit names.
I feel like that's a classic high school
Yeah.
scenario.
Yeah.
We had our friend Billy. He was B-Hub. I think I was Sam the Wise, and I forget what my friend Eric's name was, but we made like a really crappy CD where we held a mic in front of the speakers and recorded over some beats.
Wow. Classic.
I like it.
Yeah.
Did you
You know-
remix the original soundtracks?
No, they were just
Oh.
straight ripped off the internet, just recording the instrumentals over YouTube stuff. And, yeah.
So, Alex, did you answer the question? When did you feel like you were a writer? I feel like I maybe couldn't hear you when you said that.
That didn't happen until maybe I was a teenager.
Okay.
And I bought this book from my school's book fair
Mhm.
called like How to Be a Comic Book Creator or whatever.
Okay.
I have
And-
that book.
Because that's originally what I wanted to do was comic books.
hmm
That's sort of when I was like, oh hey, people get paid to do this. I should probably think about doing this. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's sort of when that happened.
Fascinating. I
Yeah.
was a late bloomer. You
I
didn't-
was
yeah.
a super late bloomer compared to you. He didn't start until he was a teenager. Like,
Right?
I didn't start until like this year.
Yeah.
Well, I
That's
thought it
great.
was just like a hobby, you know?
Mhm.
Like,
Right.
That's
fun to
how I
do and-
Mhm.
thought about it.
Some adults still think that.
It's true.
I always knew I wanted to be a part of creating books, like that process, but I never thought I could write, honestly. I feel like it's sad to say that. And it's been such a journey.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, that
Cue
was,
music.
Right.
that was another thing I did in high school too. Along with what you were saying, Alex, I used to make these stick figure comics. I would, in like first period, instead of doing schoolwork, I was sitting there drawing these comics. They were totally obscene and horrible, but in the content, I mean. And what I would do is just fold them up, and then I would give it to my friend. And by the end of the day, I would get it back all wrinkled up with and people would come up to me and just like, "Oh, that was so funny." They were really horrible.
cool.
Probably offensive now if I went back and read them, but
Yeah, I made stick figure Bible comics because I went to Catholic school.
Oh,
and
we
I was
did
like,
that. We
Oh,
did
how
that.
can I be completely offensive? And
Well,
I
not
bought
that.
colored pencils, and I did like, oh, this is Cain and Abel,
Yep.
and this is blood,
Mhm.
and
Yeah,
Good times with stick figure comics.
it's always fun, you know?
Have you guys published in the Penguin Review?
I have been published in the Penguin Review. Nobody else has in this room.
No.
Or on the
Yes.
phone.
I submitted something to Jenny, and they rejected
Okay.
me. And ever since then, I've been
Yeah.
a little bitter. But
Yeah. So
Sorry.
let's talk
You
about
can still
that.
submit more.
Yeah,
No.
you can.
Yeah,
I
I'm
just
thinking
meant to
about
both
it.
again. You
And
have
you
to
could
I
keep
submit-
apologize
submitting.
on behalf of Jenny.
You can submit to Jenny, and you can
Mhm.
submit to Penguin Review and many others.
Jenny's submissions are open until I believe November 21st. They have a speculative fiction contest going on right now, so
Oh.
check out their website.
speculative
Alex, I'm doing your
fiction.
job right now, just to let you know. Speculative fiction
Okay.
contest.
What does
My
that
day off,
mean?
so.
Fantasy, sci-fi, that
Oh,
sort
okay,
of thing.
okay.
Mhm.
Okay, I think I'm gonna
It's
send my One Piece.
jennymag.org. Check it out. Also, Penguin Review, we're accepting submissions until December 1st. You can check out our website, penguinreview.com, for our guidelines. Any kind of creative work, writing, or artwork. Another commercial.
Yeah?
So, let's talk about the first time you were published. For those of us who have been published. I'm sorry. Anyone else want to
So-
go first?
Did-
Tom and Alex and myself have been published.
The first time that I was published was in the Irish Times. It was
Well, there you go.
Ursuline High School's newspaper.
That's cool.
I wrote a movie review of Signs.
Did you say Batman and Robin? No. Okay.
No, Batman and Robin, that was 1997, I think.
Little ring.
Signs came out my freshman year. Yes.
Cool. And then, how did you feel about that? Go ahead. I don't know. Say something.
Well, some people really liked the review. Other people were like, I know you, but I'm not paying a quarter for this piece of crap newspaper.
yeah.
I got it for free.
Oh, there you
I
go.
never bought an issue of Irish Times magazine because it was.
Where's that? Where
one
can you
sheet.
can you still get that or?
Oh, do you have it
I
framed?
don't have it framed.
Sad.
I
Sad.
threw it out.
That's so sad, Tom.
And I wrote one of The Ring, I think that same year.
Mhm.
There you go.
That's cool.
And I wrote them from a personal level. I never just wrote them as straight up reviews. I was always, I was with this person and this happened and this.
Mhm.
So yeah,
And I was
that's
hungry.
Always,
Yeah.
that's always kind of how I've written.
Mhm. Did you have something you want to say? Go for
Yeah,
it.
I just remembered I have been published. Oh
What?
my gosh,
Yay.
guys.
There you go.
Share with
Hey.
It was 8th grade. My English teacher, bless him, Jesse McLean, Boardman Middle School.
Sounds
I
like
don't know
an
if
action
any
movie
listeners
star.
know.
Yeah.
He has described himself as an honorary Jew, and he's obsessed with the Holocaust.
Oh,
So
okay.
that was our English curriculum focused heavily on the Holocaust, and he made us submit to like this contest. It was like an essay contest and a poetry contest, and each year it's themed and it's about the Holocaust. And I got published for both of my essay and my
There
and my
you go.
poetry. So
That's
a little
nice.
morbid, and then we went to this award ceremony downtown Youngstown, and we got to eat free food.
Wasn't
There
that
you go.
through Geos Community Center?
Probably.
Probably.
Because I used to be a judge for that.
You might have approved
I might have
me.
judged
So-
your
Oh my
piece.
gosh.
Uh-oh.
Look at that.
There you
Look
go.
at that.
Yeah.
That reminds me. I was gonna say that the first time I got published was in Jenny because I was published in Jenny, but I
Yeah.
was also published in high school. I had, as part of our English class, we were required to submit a poem to a contest, and I got published for it.
Yeah.
I don't have a copy of that, which
I
is
don't
really
either.
sad, right?
Does someone taking your stuff and using it in like an after school function count at the Smart Center?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, because that's what happened. I was in Reader's Theater, and we had to adapt our own children's story into a script, and I said, no, I'll just write my own. And I wrote my own. And I found out a couple years later the lady that was the director of the program was using it down at Smarts, but
Okay.
I don't know.
She
That's
owes you
great.
money.
Yeah.
Probably, I don't know.
Okay, Alex, what about you?
Yes.
Okay, there was an official time I was published and an unofficial time I was
Okay.
published. The unofficial time was in high school. I worked for the newspaper, and I wrote a couple articles for that.
Which newspaper?
The Hubbard High School. I can't
Okay.
remember the name of it right now.
Probably better than Irish Times.
Yeah. I remember doing a Martin Luther King article. I did a CD review. Those are like my two biggest ones, I think. But then the official time I was published, and I talked about this on the show before, was I submitted a short story to a magazine called Aphelion,
Mm-hmm.
and it was called Selling Ghosts, and that was like the first official time that I was,
Mhm.
put into something that wasn't a newspaper.
Right.
Yeah, which was a good piece. I read it a couple weekends ago.
Oh, I don't know if I actually read it yet, but
You guys are
shoot,
terrible.
I should do that, yeah.
No,
Thank you, David. I hate you, Rebecca.
No surprise.
No, I really enjoyed it. If I had to like say anything about it, not even really negative. I felt like it could work in like a larger, not necessarily its own larger story, but I feel like you could do a whole series of short stories set in that kind of that world where there's some kind of connection between these characters a little bit. It felt like you were laying the groundwork for that, at least in my head when I was reading it.
A couple people had asked me, when are you going to do another one? Mostly their favorite character was the merchant.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them wanted to see more of that. So
Yeah,
I don't know, I might.
he was interesting.
I need to read this. Shoot.
Yeah.
That's how Rothfuss did it.
So, I had another question and I just forgot it as I opened my mouth. Okay, let me think about this. Oh yeah, what are you working on now? What's everybody working on right now?
Thesis.
There
And you
go.
talked about your thesis last time, right?
Mm-hmm.
David?
I'm currently at least an hour every morning, at least spending time fleshing out my own comic book universe and just researching various script formats and seeing which one I'd like to play with because there's no official scripting format for comic books. It's kind of however you want to do it. And you also have to work with an artist, which I don't have one currently, but I'd
I'll be
rather
your
just...
artist.
Oh, you do artwork?
You're gonna have to approve, but
Okay, I'll check it out. Because I'm trying to flesh out. I have 4 characters right now in mind, and I'm working with the way the universe works, like the rules and codes of conduct, things like that, and then fleshing out the biographies of each of the 4 characters and kind of their backstories and things like that. So that's currently what I'm working on.
We should have a day soon where we talk about how to write comic book scripts. We should do that.
It's a very
Or
I would
weird
love-
and fun
I would love
subject.
to know that.
or
too.
not, yeah. So we should do that.
Sounds good to me.
Go ahead. What are you working on?
Actually, what my friend and I are doing right now is we've set up a contract that each Sunday we meet together at a cafe or just in Confaro, and we're both working on 2 stories, and we have to, our quota for each week is 1,200 new words.
Mhm.
And if we don't reach our quota, if we both don't reach our quota, an unbiased third party gives us both a punishment. And then if one of us doesn't reach our quota, the other one has to set out a punishment.
Okay.
Like buy lunch or something? Like you have to buy
Buy
dude.
lunch, do my
That's a
laundry,
good idea.
whatever.
Oh, that's actually not a bad
So,
idea,
I need that
actually.
in my life,
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah, same here.
So right now, I have 1,200 words due for Sunday,
No, there you go.
and I've got maybe 200. So, but it's not,
No,
I'll
that
just,
won't take you that long.
I'll just, crap something out.
Yeah.
I want to set that up for like 8,000 words.
Yeah.
Yeah.
An hour? No, I'm kidding.
that's easy.
Right,
See?
exactly.
8,000
Don't do it with Alex because
8,000
he'll write
words
that
a week, Alex.
in an hour or less.
I can write 8,000 words in an hour. Now, do they form complete thoughts and ideas? Probably
Yeah,
not.
actually not.
Right.
The fish went cake. Good morning.
2,000 plus in 2 hours the other day. I was proud of
I know.
myself.
Yeah.
I know.
5 or 6 is my record, I think. I don't remember.
I never count my words. You guys are always talking about word count. I never count my words.
I have to, otherwise I don't keep track of it.
I don't keep track of it. So there you go.
I had to because I was submitting it.
Okay. Still don't.
How about you, Rebecca? What are you working on?
I am working on my writing sample primarily,
Mhm.
and I'm at this point right now where I'm so burnt out on my writing sample.
What is your rating sample?
My
for?
rating sample is for applying to MFA programs. So some programs need 10 pages, some programs take up to 25. And
Master of
Master of Fine Arts, yes,
Okay.
sorry.
So is that like creative writing?
The
or-
program that I'm looking at is creative writing with a poetry track. So
Okay.
yes. So right, like the whole summer I was trying to sort through all of my old stuff and decide what do I want to be in or not. And now I have it mostly decided, but then like there's other stuff I have to edit. And then at the same time I'm writing new stuff all the time. it's not fun.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot
Not
of work.
fun. Yeah. It's been so good though, because it's forcing me to edit and revise my work in a way that I never have done before. So it's good.
Mhm.
It's just a lot. So fun.
Are you applying to like a ton of schools?
I haven't decided yet. At least a few. Probably not a lot because it costs to apply everywhere.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
right.
Cool.
Yeah.
Anywhere
The
from
grind.
$25 to $100
Yeah.
dollars.
The lowest
Sometimes
I've
more.
seen is 45.
Oh,
45 to 100 and some.
Jeez,
yeah.
they went up.
Right, right.
Now, what are some themes in your poetry?
Oh, well, what everyone tells me my poetry about is autobiographical. No, it's not.
Okay.
Right. No, we had this conversation like every single day.
Okay.
A lot of my poems are really nostalgic, is what people tell me, because nostalgia.
Got that vibe.
Dr. Anderson the other day suggested that I should put together something all about Youngstown because I have several poems about Youngstown. So I don't know. That's just the thing.
Yeah, get it published.
Right. I don't know. I like writing a lot of different stuff. I like writing stories as poems. That's probably how I would
Narrative.
describe my writing.
Mhm.
Right. Oh yeah, a lot of narrative poems.
Okay, that's
Yep.
Like
The-
the one
go
that I
ahead.
super duper like and is one of my favorite poems.
Right. The one that was in Penguin Review that Tom likes.
the tea
Yes.
and
Yes.
college
Yes.
one.
Right.
That one was on point.
Thank you. Thank you. If you want to read it, it's on our website, but we can't read it on air because I say all the swear words.
She uses bad words.
Oh.
Right.
Yay.
Yay.
We'll
Okay,
bleep
Alex.
them out.
Yeah. Alex, what are you working on right now? Not this very minute, but in
right
general.
now I'm working on a short story for a collection.
Mhm.
And then I'm also working on the second draft of a novel, which is totally fun.
Yeah. You want to talk
I'm-
about that a
Go ahead.
little? Go ahead.
The novel sort of grew out of my young adult fiction workshop class with Dr. Barnhouse. And I finished it around May, I think, at around 57,000 words, I want to say. Pretty short.
Right.
And then I stupidly, almost immediately started the second draft. And I'm so tired of writing this thing that I just
Yeah.
want to never look at it again.
Now, Alex, may I ask you what yours, like a theme or any sort of description as to what your novel's about?
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
That's okay. It's a sci-fi young adult novel set on this, other planet. It deals with like space colonization and that sort of thing. What it would be like if we lived on other planets, and this girl whose mother is really, really sick needs to get money for surgery. So she ends up running away from home, so she can try to find this like special ore thing. It's very adventure style story.
Let me ask you a question, Alex. I was listening to the audiobook version of Super Gods the other night by Grant Morrison, and he was talking about how, and he was making this comparison to comics, but he says this is, I mean, he feels it's a universal thing with writers across the board, where you're writing a character, and...
Bye, Tom.
Yeah, bye,
Tom's
Tom.
leaving.
Tom is leaving. He was on mic 4.
Yeah.
All right, I'll shut that down.
Okay.
Where you're writing and you're creating characters, and they take on a life of their own. They almost come alive. And where you're in a situation where you're trying to write something or for the sake of the plot. I know this is the first novel, so maybe this hasn't happened yet, but where it's like, well, I can't do that because that would be so out of character for character X to do something like that. Has that happened yet? Or have you experienced that yet? Where you've felt like, man, I can't do that because Bob, whoever Bob is, isn't like that. Bob would totally not kick that guy in the face or whatever's going on.
Yeah, I've totally felt that before. Maybe not earlier when I was starting to write the novel, because like I was still trying to figure out who these characters were.
Mm-hmm.
But like halfway through, I'd be like, no, she wouldn't do this. This isn't who she is. She wouldn't say that either. That's not how she talks. That sort of thing. Yeah, no, that definitely happens.
Is that a hindrance to you, or do you think that's just kind of an awesome part of the process, or both?
Maybe yes and no. Because it's like now I kind of know my characters a little better, and they feel, like you said, more real.
Yeah.
But yes, also because it's like, well, what would that narrative path have led me down?
Yeah.
had I done it.
Did you have a question?
Cool.
I just have, I think that's so fascinating because I'm the kind of person who I really plan things out, and I need to know who my character is before I write down anything.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I need to know, like I create this whole idea in my head, and then right from the get-go, everything that character does has to fall in line with my idea of that character.
I feel
Yep.
like that's why I don't write short stories even, because I feel like I want to have an outline before I start and know what I'm doing, and I never do.
But yeah, but I just think that it's different with everyone, and it's not like one's better or one's worse.
Yeah.
Right.
But I just love, part of what I love to do is just even outlining, not even necessarily writing, just like planning the narrative and planning like structural irony and like all of those great things. I just love doing it so
That's
much.
great.
So I like mad respect to like people who can just write, because I can't just write.
Oh, we have to take a break. I
Yes.
was going to ask you another question.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're going
So-
to take a quick break.
Yeah.
When we come back, we'll continue the discussion. Maybe we'll talk a little bit more about planning, things like that. And I know Rebecca's got some more to talk about. So, for those of you listening, keep it locked in here to Rookery Radio. This is the Penguin Review Show. We'll be back in a few minutes. Here's some Queens of the Stone Age. See you in a few seconds. Welcome back to the Penguin Review Show here on Rookery Radio, Real College Radio. A word from the sponsors. Tonight at 9 on the episode of America's Next Top Model, models test their acting chops to compete for a walk-on role in a scripted television series. A frozen photo shoot turns icy after hurtful comments are overheard at the house. See how this all plays out on the local CW network, WBCB-TV. Bam. Okay, we are back.
And we're
Alex,
back.
you still there? No? Oh, wait a minute. Alex, one more time.
Hey,
There
he
we
is.
go.
That's better.
All right.
we're good.
So join our conversation on Facebook. We're on Facebook at Penguin Review, also Twitter, also Instagram.
Mm.
Gia does our Instagram, also
Yes.
Tumblr. We're everywhere.
I like
Find
the
us.
Omnipresent.
Yeah.
Did you do the pretzel
Omnipresent.
shot from the bake show?
Oh, yeah.
That was good. I
Oh,
liked
thank
it.
you.
I liked
Thank
it.
you.
So we have a comment from Facebook. This is from Jordan, and I hope she's listening, but either way, hi, Jordan. She says she considers herself a writer after she wrote her first story in 5th grade.
There
It
you
was
go.
absolutely horrible, but it showed her how many stories I have in me and how badly I wanted to share them. It was then that I became a writer. I
Cool.
think that's great.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm glad everybody's not as harsh as I am on themselves. It's such a
I am
great
too.
thing.
I'm
so
harsh on myself too.
I write, I just don't, because I feel, just because I had put really hard standards on myself.
It's
I'm
like
not-
saying that you're a Beatles fan when you're around people who know every single song on
Yeah,
every single
I
album.
feel so
Okay, I hear
small.
that.
That's
Yeah.
that's
I feel so small.
the metaphor that
Yeah, that's a good one.
they're similar.
So I have a question for Alex. My question is, at what point in time did you get the character's voice in your head? How long had you been writing it? Talk to us about that.
Talking about the novel?
Yeah,
I'm
for the
doing?
novel, or you could talk about in general. At what point in time do you feel like you understand your characters?
Okay, mostly it just comes from doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Like Gio was talking about, I'm a little bit of a planner, kind
Okay.
of, sort of. I don't do so much that I know everything that's going to happen, because I think that takes the fun out of writing, really.
For you, okay, that's cool. That's
Yeah.
you're allowed.
I don't mean to bash Gia's because a lot of people do that, but
Mhm.
for me, like, the character comes to mind, like the voice comes out when I'm writing it. If that makes sense.
No, I can understand
Like
that.
right away when you start writing it. That's my question. Like, how
Oh,
long
okay,
do you
all
write?
right. No,
Yeah.
I guess it's almost like acting when I'm writing. Like, I'm pretending that I know what this character sounds like, and eventually it sort of, like, molds into that as I get used to it. You know?
Okay.
Fake it till you make it type stuff.
Yeah.
Have you
Pretty
ever
much, yeah.
have you ever done that? Actually, get up and act it out.
Yeah, actually.
I do that all the time too.
That's
I pretend
weird.
I'm these characters. I don't
That's
go
weird.
crazy. I'm not like Silence of the Lambs, like with a bra on or anything. But I do that. I'm talking to myself or my cats like as if I was that character.
Yeah.
Interesting.
They say the best thing to do is to read your work out loud because you're able to catch.
I did that last night. I was
Yeah.
struggling so hard last night because we had to write a form poem for my poetry class, and it's the most difficult thing I've ever done in my life, and I was just reading it over and over and over again.
Yeah. If you read it out loud, you'll catch some of the things that sound weird.
Mm-hmm.
Because it
Right.
sounds weird coming out of your mouth than it does reading it on the page.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, because the
Yeah,
idea makes more sense in your head than it does coming out of your mouth sometimes.
Yeah.
So, also, Georgia, I have a question for you. You said you're doing this challenge with a
okay.
friend of yours. So, tell us about like what you're writing, what the themes are,
Oh,
that sort of
baby. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Oh, I thought you said
Good.
babies. Like,
Okay.
oh, okay.
thing.
It's a 4-part. It's
Mhm.
the idea is that it's going to end up being a novel. 4 parts, each part narrated by a different person. Actually, 3 parts.
Mhm.
I amend that. 3 parts. I'm working on the first part right now, and it takes place on a college campus. I'm kind of like, I'm paranoid that I'm being autobiographical, but I'm really not. And so each character, each narrator has their own voice. And if I want to like, just say some major themes, it's all about like how you perceive others versus how they perceive you, and then delusions within those perceptions, and then I don't know. That's basically it. But like, I
Okay.
love the idea, and like I've planned it all out, and like I have my SparkNote themes and stuff, because like stuff like that really helps me.
course.
Alex, what you were talking about, like I have to have like the feeling in my head of like, okay, this is what I'm trying to get at. This is like my overall theme,
Right.
quote
Right.
unquote. From that, the plot is secondary. Character development is primary. The plot is secondary. So like, I need to have my characters down pat, but the plot can be amended to
Right.
fit
Okay.
whatever
makes sense.
needs to be fit. But yeah, I'm really excited about it.
Mhm.
So
Cool.
I'm still at that beginner's phase.
Right. I was working on a short story, and I still like it a lot, and I still kind of want to get to it. But what happened was, I knew I could see the first 2 scenes very clearly, and then I knew where it needed to end, but I still don't know the middle part. I don't know how they get there, and I don't know what to do. So stuck on it. I haven't been able to write anything for it. Like, I wrote what I knew, and then I got to the point I didn't know, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Some advice that I was given recently is to just write out a scene, and then once you have something to work with, then you could be a critic, and you can maybe take a break from it for a couple of days, and then go back into the scene and say, like, this isn't what I wanted, but I have this starting point, and now I know what I don't want.
Yeah.
And then you can, like, move on from that.
I might have to try that. It's really difficult for me. I don't know. Not a prose writer. So, I guess the next question is, what motivates you to sit down and write? How do you get yourself to actually do work? If that makes sense. Yeah?
Who wants to start?
Alex,
Alex,
take it
yeah.
away.
Yeah.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The motivation, I think, comes from, well, not only wanting to be a writer, but knowing the fact that getting the words down is the work.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
If work isn't done, then, obviously I have nothing else to work with. I have nothing
Right.
to edit. I have nothing to fix,
Uh-huh.
So, yeah.
That's
My
good.
motivation, pretty much.
Right.
Do the work.
Right.
Yeah, I get it a lot when I exercise.
Okay.
The ideas for the story, it's a weird kind of relationship. The ideas for the story motivate me when I'm working out, and then I get more ideas as I'm working out. Maybe it's all the chemicals going through my brain at the time, but I really enjoy it. It's almost a religious practice for me. Actually, I would say it is if I have one. It's that. It's just, I don't know. It's an interesting experience when I'm in a lot of physical pain doing something, and then I learn, or an idea hits me. It's like, that would totally work where I'm having trouble with this character. Like me and Alex had discussed my comic book idea, and we had talked about a couple of things. And this morning I was working out, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna totally like nix a couple things that weren't really making sense, and I'm totally changing it around now. So I don't know.
That's great.
Does that answer the question?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
really, really interesting.
I
Yeah,
know a lot of people like to get ideas when they're cleaning.
that too. Yeah,
Yeah, so there you go.
yoga.
Joyce Carol Oates, the novelist, she said in an interview that she runs, and that's how she can think.
Oh yeah, running and
Yeah.
biking.
Yeah.
I love doing that.
I love doing those things, but I feel like they don't help me generate ideas. They help me clear my mind.
Mm.
So it's a different relationship for me.
Yeah.
But cool.
See, it's a lot like that with me.
Uh-huh.
Only as my mind clears up, the ideas start coming.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense. So it's like, all that other crap
Right.
I'm worried about
See, for me, I
out
feel like
there, and then it just starts hitting me. So.
I feel like my mind has to be cluttered in order for me to have ideas, which is exactly
Part of your
the opposite.
process.
It's part of my
So it
process,
works.
right?
It works.
I have, like, we talked about this when Dr. Barnhouse was here, writing early in the day versus at the end of the day. I write at the end of the day because I feel like I need to be filled up with experiences,
Yeah.
maybe, and then process it. Because for me, writing is a way of processing the environment almost. So,
Yeah, that makes
yeah,
sense.
that's
See, I work
that's
better in
me.
the morning when I'm totally just
Mhm.
empty, trying to be zen. Doesn't always work. My cats get on my nerves to feed them, but yeah.
Yeah.
No, I totally understand.
Really interesting. So, Georgia, what motivates you to write other than the challenge you have going on? Like,
When I look at
Punish.
like why I write and when I write, it's always for a specific situation or like out of like a particular situation that writing comes. So I figured out that that's what motivates me, and now I'm trying to use that to my advantage because I don't always, life's not always exciting.
right.
I'm not always inspired by
right.
events that are happening. So I try now to like think of somebody who I'm going to be dedicating this to, and I try to make it into a gift for that person.
Okay.
Well,
Even if it has nothing to do with that person,
Uh-huh.
so long as it's a gift that needs to be done not for like myself but for that other person.
Uh-huh.
That's
Pretty cool.
like the thought that pushes, because I have no discipline or motive. Like I am,
Right.
and that's why I'm doing that challenge because like
Right.
I need other people to help me
Yeah.
with that. So
That's awesome. That's
Yeah,
a
that
really
is.
good idea. I'm like stealing ideas right now just to let you
Pretty
guys
cool.
know. Right.
I like that.
Cool.
Yeah.
People would probably think I hate them if I was like, this is a gift for you.
Yeah.
So you want me to be maimed by a mountain lion? What is
Yeah, pretty
wrong
much,
with you?
Basically, yes.
It's like, not maimed, okay? Never mind.
It's a metaphor.
Yeah, it means
It's
I
a
love you
metaphor,
so
guys.
much, I would
Right.
just shred you apart.
Right. Yeah. Totally.
yeah.
No, I'm kidding. That's interesting, though.
Mhm.
And that's... Yeah, that is... I don't think I've heard that before. Use it like
Yeah,
as a
I feel like I
gift
haven't
to
either.
somebody
Uh-huh.
as a means of... I might try that just to see
Right.
what content comes
Right.
out.
I
Yeah.
feel like I might try it
that.
too.
So totally stealing that.
I'm the same way. I feel like I can't write something unless I'm inspired.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So-
by the quote unquote by the muses.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
I did air quotes,
You know.
which you guys
Yeah.
can't see. Right. It's tough. It's tough.
yeah.
So good stuff though. So let's we have like 7 minutes left.
Mm.
Let's say advice. What advice do you have for writers or anything else that you want to say?
Go ahead, Alex.
Okay. Don't edit it until it's finished.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
I
Do
guess
not
so.
do that at all.
Mm-hmm.
You'll never get anything done. You'll think it's horrible, and then you'll just scrap it. Finish it first, edit it later.
That's
Mhm.
true. True.
Gotta push through.
Okay. Next.
That is my advice.
I'll give the conventional advice to just read a ton
Mm-hmm.
and
Uh-huh,
never
yeah.
think that you've got all the resources. And also read a ton of like different stuff because like I feel like the way that I write is not marketable, and if I never like read more eccentric novelists, I would never feel I could never tell myself, oh, you can be a writer, because I didn't know that could be done.
Mm-hmm.
So just to be exposed to
Mhm.
different styles and then to like find your niche is really
Absolutely.
important.
Yeah.
I'm gonna jump on top of that because that's the advice I always give people is read as much as humanly possible and then write. But when you're reading, don't just read it. Pull it apart.
Yeah.
Yep.
Look at the stuff that you like. Figure out why you like it. Think about why you like it. I'm in this workshop right now where we're workshopping poems. I'm in 2 workshops, so the one is strictly a poetry workshop. But we have to really pull it apart, and that helps me so much because I see this, I love this. This, I don't like this. This isn't working for me. So when you're looking at other works, be just as critical as you may be with your own work. And like George just said, read so many different types of styles, as many different kinds of writing as you possibly can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Just
No,
do
Just
it.
with the books.
Right.
Just do
Right.
it. No, I mine would be don't let the accomplishments, successes, and just talents of others put you in a paralyzed state of like, oh, no way, I'm not that good. I
That's
can't
a
do
great
this.
one.
It's because
Right.
there's been so many
Yeah.
times, like even as whether it's your academic work, even it's like, oh man, this guy totally just runs discussion in class. He's so smart, or she's like completely brilliant with the way she strings language together in her writing, and it's like, oh no way, I don't do that to yourself because you're not that person. Just do your own thing.
Yeah.
That's
I
I mean
agree.
that's without repeating what everybody else said. That's my advice. Don't
Good
let your
job.
insecurities rule you.
Right.
Yes.
Do not give in to fear.
Just do it. No, I don't know.
Anyone else have any last things they want to
Last
say? We have a couple minutes, and then I'll do our commercials for Penguin Review.
Submit.
Yeah, submit.
Oh, I wanted to talk about that briefly, like the submissions process and why it's important.
Mm-hmm.
For me in particular, like getting your work out there, more than just building an audience, like David said, it kind of does, it's a form of validation.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to emphasize the fact that you're going to get a lot of rejections.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
And you have to do that. I read someone who I don't remember their name anymore, but she said you have to write 1 million bad words before you start writing good words.
Mm.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Right? Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
we should talk about submissions another day since we're running out of time, but
Yeah.
I wanted to say that.
And also, oh,
last tip:
Go ahead.
keep your rejection letters.
See, I disagree with you, but
Keep
that's
them.
okay.
No, no, no,
Rebecca,
don't-
when you become famous, you want to just plaster those all over
Yeah.
your wall.
No.
Just pull a Kanye
Not
and
really.
rub it in their face.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, last advice. Find friends who appreciate what
absolutely.
you're trying to do,
Yeah.
because being a writer is actually insane, and you're just like in a room by yourself,
Right.
talking.
That's true.
That's been
yourself,
so
creating
helpful for me
worlds.
also, is finding other people to read each other's work, to critique each other, to talk about what we're working on, this whole sort of thing. So yeah, do that. Come hang out with us and we'll
Yeah.
do that for you. But
thanks.
also other people.
Yeah. All right.
Okay?
Want to plug some stuff
Yeah,
before
I
we
want to
go?
plug some
All
stuff
right, let's do
always.
that.
Send us your submissions, any kind of creative work, whether it's writing or artwork. You can email it to us, penguinreview@gmail.com. We're accepting submissions until December 1st. We need your YSU number, and that's it. That's just send us that and
Mhm.
your work, and then we're good. All of our guidelines, though, if you want to check them out, are at penguinreview.com. You can follow us on Facebook, like us on Facebook, follow us on
Mhm.
Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr. Georgia has something else to say. Go for it.
Just follow me on Instagram, and you won't regret it.
At
Oh,
Penguin
there you
Review.
go.
It's really good. It's good stuff. We love talking to you, so hit us up. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. Anything else?
No, I'll just say thanks for those who tuned in and listened, and thank you, Alex, for joining us on the phone. Sucks you couldn't be here, you know. We always have that moment where we stare at each other, and I miss that. So
Oh, yeah.
I'll leave you all.
I'll be there next week.
I'll leave you all with that on this Friday afternoon. And for my own shameless plug, check out the Nerd Perspective Show this Monday from 8 to 10. We're talking tabletop gaming. Fiona's coming in. She has her own tabletop
Ooh,
gaming
exciting.
company, and she's going to tell us about it. Hopefully, a longtime listener, Craig Marks, calls in or comes to the studio and does that with us as well. So thank you all for listening to the Penguin Review Show here on Rookery Radio. Keep it locked in here. We got some great programming coming up later today, but I can't open the file, so just stay tuned and listen. We'll see you all next week. Take care.